You are listening to the Park Flyer Podcast, where we discuss our RC adventures.
Welcome to the Park Flyer Podcast, where we discuss the ups and downs of the new RC Flyer. Join your hosts, Michael and Jay, as they take flight at the park. Now on with the show.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Park Flyer Podcast. I'm Michael from Arizona. With me always are my good friends.
Jay from the hills of Texas.
And AK Mike in Texas.
And we are...
Special guest star, Shannon Gallagher.
There you go. We do have a special guest. Shannon Gallagher is on.
I like he introduced himself.
I know.
That was good.
So nice, yeah. Well, we got a great episode tonight. We're talking a little bit about the Arizona Electric Festival. But before we get started, how about a word from our sponsors?
3D Air Adventures, adding fun to the RC hobby, one layer at a time.
Feeling weak and powerless? Sounds to me like you need A-Power batteries. When someone needs the best, they always choose the A-Team. A-Power batteries. Get on the web and get yours today.
And we're back to the Park Flyer Podcast, and we'd like to welcome Shannon. Welcome, Shannon. It's been a while.
Well, thank you very much, gentlemen. It's been too long.
It has been. It seems like the whole year has been. It seems like the whole year's gone by, and now here we are.
Yes.
So, but
yes.
I guess there's been some changes for next year's Arizona Electric Festival. You're going to bring us up to speed on?
Yeah, so AEF 2022, it's the 18th annual, so now we can vote and sign up for selective service, all that good stuff. So we're almost legal. Can't quite drink yet, so we're good, but we'll be all right. So we've changed the dates a little bit this year. It's going to be February 4th to the 6th, so the first weekend of February. And the main reason was, well, the weekend after that is Super Bowl. And also here in the Valley is the Waste Management Phoenix Open. So that's a big draw on anyone, for spectators and things. So,
of course, we don't really consider Valentine's Day a thing. So that's...
Yeah, well, there's that too.
Some of us do. Some of us have
yeah, I do too. But
some of us have spouses that consider it a thing. So we got to worry about that. But I think last year my spouse actually...
there's another event.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, another event where?
There's another event in Tucson the same weekend. It's a 3D aerobatic event, and we have a little crossover in that community. But I've been talking with the CD for that event, and it is what it is. Sponsors wise. Vendors, I think, there's a couple that, that are kind of flipped a coin and one's going one's going here. But I think in the long run, we're still more of a scale sport event. So if anything, it'll clear out, that worry of, the 3Ders crashing into everyone else flying around. That happens sometimes. So, but other than that, we're really looking forward to it. But the runway's been redone, I think, since the last time we guys talked. We talked about that was going to happen, and all the cracks have filled in, resurfaced, and it looks beautiful. So if you guys haven't been out there, nice. We're having the Jet Rally, 33rd annual Jet Rally this weekend, and so it'll be we've had a couple of events post kind of the COVID. We don't have to do all the temperature checks and all that stuff, and so that's a good thing, right? That we can kind of back away from that at least for now. But one of the things we're looking forward to doing is one of the other clubs down in southern Arizona. A couple of the members said, "Hey, we're coming up because our field's busy, and we just want to come up for the AEF. But is there something we can maybe do, like with the youth or something?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, sure. If you got the manpower." And they're getting with Flight Test and getting some of those Hut gliders or whatever Chuck gliders they call them. And they're going to do a little build session. And I'm like, hey, if you guys want to do that, we'll give you the space. And have at it. So we're gonna, as we get more information and solidify that, we're doing it, but just all the details we'll publicize that a little bit more. So a little more interaction for the families that come out and the kids, and give them something to walk home with. So looking forward to that.
Wow, that's cool.
Awesome.
Very nice.
Yeah, we did that at another event. That other event is happening, but another field, another person's running it. So just to have the opportunity to kind of give more to the community that come out and visit really means a lot. And like I said, I don't have the manpower. As you guys all know, Pat Gagnon moved away. He was my longtime co-CD. He's actually coming back though, just to visit. He's gonna borrow one of my planes and probably crash it, knowing him. But
bummer.
Hopefully he hears that. No, I'm just kidding. He's good. No, I trust Pat. But my new CD is co-CD is Tony Milage. He's our maintenance guy. He's kind of done all the maintenance for the field. I mean, we've talked about that. I talked about him before, and he's done an amazing job helping me out. So really looking forward to showing you the final result. The usual stuff. We'll have a night fly, which if you didn't know, we've been having night flies like every month here at our club, and it really building the following. So I bugged Eric at 3D Aero Ventures to make some more of his landing gear for the night Radian, because he made me a set, and I flew him, and they love it. That's great, because we have the runway tears up the bottom of that plane usually. And about 4 or 5 guys have them. They're like, "Oh yeah, we want one." So hopefully we can get a bunch of more of those out there going, and have the flying disco balls in a great number.
Well, that sounds like a fun time. They food vendors coming out this year too, I think.
Yes, we'll definitely have our good old desert dogs, and the guy that was doing the Mexican food last year, and hopefully Katie. With the coffee will be there. She had a little mishap this past week. She fractured her leg in 4 places.
Ouch.
At another event, so she can't come out for our current one, but she should be back up and running. Worst case, I'll find another coffee vendor, but I'd rather have her because she's kind of part of the family. Hobby vendors, I think we're going to be a lot better this year. Obviously, we'll have Zap, a longtime vendor. E-Power's back on the scene. We're actually going to see them this weekend here at the Jet Rally, and they already confirmed they're coming to AEF. Eric from 3D Aero Ventures, already talked to him. And local hobby shop, Superstition Hobbies, definitely for sure, but still nailing down the rest. But there's a bunch of people that have expressed interest, and we just got to finalize everything. But should be a little bit more of a vendor row than there was last time.
Very, very cool. That sounds like a fun time. And then tell me the dates again.
I
you
can't
said
wait.
The dates were
February 4th through the 6th.
4th, 5th, and 6th. So that's the first weekend in February.
Yeah.
Okay.
First weekend in February. Yes, it is.
Perfect.
Already got your name on that front table reserved for you guys.
Excellent.
So as soon as you want to set up, we're waiting for you.
That's excellent.
Hey, did you happen to notice Mike's power cord anywhere around there? Because we kind of can't find it.
Oh, I think I actually found one. Or was it the one you borrowed from somebody? I don't remember. Didn't you borrow one from somebody? Or we like
that was a year before.
No. Okay.
Yeah. So the reason they're busting my chops about that is because when I went to the Jet Rally, I opened my battery case to charge all my batteries, and I was missing the power cord. So it was.
Oh,
I can't
that's
remember
right.
if it was left at the AZEF or if it was, if it's in some other box that we boxed up and put in the trailer and brought back. So,
I found the set screw for your wheel collar, though.
Oh,
it had your name on it, so I've got that for you.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
Well, that
figured you're gonna need that.
Thing is like minute. That's the one thing you found, not the big 6-foot power cord. You found the micro.
Yeah, exactly.
That is very cool.
Yep.
Well, kind of give us a plug on the Jet Rally this week, because I think I might be there, or at least swing by and say hey.
Yeah, no, the Jet Rally, it's the 33rd annual, and I'm actually driving to go pick up the T-shirts from my longtime friend who's done their shirts for almost 30-some years for the event in California. I got to bring them back tonight. Just didn't. He was supposed to come over, but just didn't work out. So we've got probably already 20 pilots pre-registered, which is pretty good for the Jet Rally. And it's turbines, ducted fans, and larger EDF. So for this event, you have to have an EDF of either 120 inches length width combined or a 100 millimeter fan. So like for the free wing planes, the A-10, the MiG-29, and the F-14, those the twins, they all fit within the size range. 100-inch or 100 millimeter fan planes like all the new HSDs and the Global Aeroflies, all those, which I actually have one of the L-39s now, which I love, love it, and can't wait to get it out there. So, but we're expecting guys from Colorado, California, I think from Nevada, maybe even from Texas. A couple of guys come over, so. Should be a pretty good. Somebody's stealing his car over here. Should be a pretty good turnout. The weather is looking phenomenal. You don't like to jinx it, but unless there's like a major change in weather pattern, it's going to be like no higher than 80 degrees and light breeze, sunny. So yeah. So
I just want to point out regarding the ar, I have a good alibi. So
yeah, you're in another state.
Yeah.
I guess that's a good enough excuse. Yeah, I think that'll pass. So, but yeah, we've got Zap coming out, E-Power, Superstition Hobbies, and then there's another vendor who has plane stands. I just forget who his name was, but so we got a few vendors even for this.
Does he make wooden ones?
Good old food. I think they're wooden ones.
I may have saw.
That's not Lane's Planes, maybe.
No, it's a different company. I actually copied it down, but yeah, it's. I think it's RC Plane Stands. Is that what it's called? Something like that.
Yes, I think that's right. Yeah,
so he's got some really good products. I liked his product. Matter of fact, he had to go early, or I may have come home with a stand because those are really, really nice. Several of the guys I know that work their turbines because they expand out and they have these little slots, so you can make it real small or you can make it real big to fit whatever size airplane you want. I think people.
I might be spending some money this weekend.
He's got some desktop ones that are really, really cool too. Several different kinds. If it's the same guy,
I think I have one of those. Maybe? Yeah, where it kind of expands out and I think it's. I have one that's really cool. I spent a lot of money on knobs and stuff to make it even more functional.
That's probably the guy.
It's pretty cool.
I really did like his product.
Yeah. So that's good stuff. And I'm trying to think what's generally just, we're going to really hold down the speed limit because we had a turbine go in over the summer and it went really close to a house on the west end. Went outside of the boundaries of our park and just barely missed a backyard of somebody's house. Like you could see the wall, from the burn mark of the. It was a big turbine. It was a big, I think it was a Rebel T1 or something. I don't know, whatever. Yeah. But we just started really looking at how much real estate you're eating up in a turbine, and even with an EDF too. I mean, these EDFs they're pushing 200 miles an hour, on some of them now. So just want everyone to be really cautious about that. One of the things I guess I haven't officially worked with yet, but I'm probably going to do it for AEF is we technically have the 400-foot altitude rule, even though we're in Class G airspace, but we're Class G, right? Am I right? I think so. But I guess there's some clubs are getting waivers for events without too much trouble, and I think we'd probably be fine with that. So, I think. But it was one of those things like, oh, don't call the FAA because they'll come out and arrest us for just living, but which they can't do, obviously. But yeah, we just want to make sure we're playing by the rules and not ruffling any feathers.
There you go. I mean, they do sit underneath the Class B, but the Class B.
Yeah, you just got to get into them. It's no big deal.
I think so too. It shouldn't be. You can actually apply for it.
So
Ernie Mac, right?
No.
Yeah, you should talk to him because when he held his IMAC event out here, he actually called and got a NOTAM because they're so close to Deer Valley Tower. So he would.
Yeah, we're so far away from most.
That sounds really
okay.
So
usually.
it should be good. You should be easy. You just put a note. So, well, we're excited. Man, it's, every year we kind of load up of our stuff and take it out there. And last year with COVID, you did such a good job. And minus Pat this year, I think it's still going to be a good job, even though, he does a whole lot. I know he did a lot for you. And hopefully this year, Joe, I love his hat, by the way. I always, love his he's got that little straw hat that he wears. We're talking about the same Joe, right? Joe, didn't he wear a little? He's the safety guy. I think he had a hat.
Tony?
No. Is it Tony? Tony. What did I say, Joe? It's the wrong Joe. Who's the guy that you said does the maintenance? That's Tony.
That's Tony.
Yeah,
Tony Milage. He wears. I mean, if anything, he wears like a I don't know, like I guess you called the Marine hat, like a Marine Corps cap. Yes. Is that what you're thinking? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. He's got his name tag on the side of it, so that's what I always recognize him. But and he did such a good job with because he does all the maintenance stuff. He's always done a good job there for you, so I'm excited. I think it'll be really.
Oh man, he changed a lot of the field from what it was to what it is now. He was the big driving force behind it. So just can't say enough about it.
I think he was involved in the power outage of 2019, maybe, or 2020, whenever 2019.
Actually, he probably was not. That was somebody else. We'll keep the names silent to protect the innocent or guilty, whatever you want.
Well,
to
no,
call
I mean,
that was a fluke thing.
I don't think it was anybody's fault. It was just a lot of draw happening in the wrong spots, and it just threw.
No, we had a plug go bad.
Yeah, so I'm saying that, and I think part of that is the draw that was happening on that plug, right? I mean,
and it just broke.
Yeah.
It had been dropped too many times.
Exactly.
It just shorted out. So we got a new generator.
No kidding.
But because our other one, it was barely running, or only running propane, and only if the moon was in the crescent, but we still have to rent the big one for AEF, but this one will give us a little bit more juice for even for the jet rally. So
Good.
Looking forward to firing her up.
So run us through a little bit about the resurfacing of your runway. How did that? I mean, you guys have been talking about it for a while.
Yeah, so one of our club members who passed away left us a fair amount of money, and it was enough to cover most of a resurfacing. So we got about 4 or 5 bids. We didn't take the cheapest, we didn't take the most expensive. We got one right in the middle, and got some. We got a lot of got some guarantees, and looked at current previous work, and had a lot of references. So we went with, I think it was Roadrunner. I'm pretty sure it was who we went with, and they just did a phenomenal job. We had to stretch it out because it rained, obviously. the week they're supposed to do it, it rains. Yeah, go figure. So we were supposed to have the field closed for 2 days, and then it stretched to almost a week. So it was worth it though. Not too many people complained, so I think I feel pretty good about it.
Did you have it painted?
But it's just beautiful. Oh yeah. It gets all repainted. So all the lines have been repainted, and it just looks phenomenal.
We'll just say that people who complained are somewhere near the end of the runway.
No, they weren't too. No, it's just some of the snowbirds. They're like, I want to get a few more flights before I go back to wherever. So,
well, you can only do what you can do. So you have to take the opportunity, and if nature doesn't cooperate, then you can't really fight her. She's got a mind of her own.
Yeah, but overall, it was definitely a success. Okay. So proud of it, and it really looks really, really good. And the planes just roll and roll and roll, and don't
right.
The landing gear don't tear off. There was a few big cracks.
Why am I down at the end of the runway now? I used to stop well before that. What's happening?
Yeah, we're still eventually going to totally redo it, but this definitely gives us a good 5 years to keep preparing. And we didn't have to really dive into our runway fund, which we keep building and building and building.
So when you say resurface, I think you just mean add a half inch or an inch of whatever asphalt on top. Is that what you mean? Or do you mean pour that stuff on the cracks and level out some areas?
Yeah, what they did is they filled all the cracks, and then they resealed it. But what we're going to do eventually is rip everything out and start from scratch. That's the end game.
Good.
We'll get the snap. I wish we could do it with
you
a snap.
If you use video, you can do it.
If I had the Infinity Gauntlet, it'd be like, give me my field. It is exactly how I want it. Snap. Nothing else.
Exactly. Well, do you have any special people coming in or anything, any secret squirrels that you may...
As of right now, other than Pat Gagnon, I can't think of anybody. Again, there's a few people that are on the fence because of the other event that goes on in Tucson. But if I could, I wish I had more, scoop of who's going to show up. What I really think this year is going to be is, a celebration of we can just fly and not worry about anything. We're still going to do our noon show. That's always a big thing we like to do. If we can get some of the, some new aircraft, I mean, that's another thing we used to do, have a lot of is, they'd bring out new aircraft and kind of debut them there. I don't know if that's going to happen. We've asked if anybody has anything, and just with supply lines and things we've got, we haven't seen a new plane from, anybody for a while. I think, just a couple from, I think Hobby King rolled out something recently, and maybe, E-Flight at one or two. Yeah, E-Flight's had a couple, but yeah, I'd like to see something really big pop out. So we'll see. It's still early, even though we moved it up a week. It's still I don't care about a lot of that stuff till January usually.
So coming up here for the end of November, I was going to ask, is there anything that you might want to put out to our fans of what to get for Black Friday that you've seen that you might want?
Oh, for personally?
Yeah.
Let's see. I want Teddy Ruxpin.
Yeah, wrong podcast. But hey, it's nice to know.
Well, he's kind of remote control if you think about it.
Yeah, that's true.
No. An IX-20. Are those going on sale yet? Because I could really use one of those.
No, they're not.
But I didn't think so. Nice. I didn't think so. I love my X12, but yeah, X20 is definitely in the crosshairs for one of these days.
Ooh, those sound nice.
Batteries, I got this bigger L39 110 millimeter fan. I need 8,000 plus 6S batteries now. Wow. So had to invest in some of those, and so far so good. But
so everybody can tell when you're charging on the bench. Is all the lights?
Yeah, the lights dim. It's like yeah, it's like when Frankenstein, they flip the switch to start Frankenstein up.
And you have like a battery boy that comes out there. Battery boy, come on! Comes out with a car.
Yes, master. The batteries are charging.
Dang, 8,000.
That's crazy.
Some of the guys are flying in these planes like 92. I think there's like some 9200s out there now, and I'm like, I don't even know where they put them in, like, drop tanks or what.
Actually, I have a friend of mine that flies long, quads, the kind of the FPV quads, and they've got 20,000 milliamp batteries.
Yep.
20,000 milliamps.
Yeah, I've seen those. Yeah, because I got the Venom commercial drone battery charger. It's awesome, but it does like 5 amp, 10 amp, 20 amp, and 25 amp. So you can't like put in like 1,500 or 3,000. It's for big batteries. That's what it's designed for. But for the 8,000s, you put them at 10 amps. You're still not you're barely pushing a little over 1.23 C through it. So you're not really pushing it too hard. Then it'll charge up a little quicker, but they balance perfect. I love that charger. It's a beast. I mean, it looks like a car battery is how big it is. But
wow,
it's got 2,000-watt power supplies.
Get your personal Sherpa carrying it around.
I guess so.
That's the battery.
It's like the nuclear football. I put like I've got like a chain on my wrist, and my wife has the other key to unlock it. So
wow, that's great. It's got two turn to keys. That's funny. Well, we know you're out.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, turn.
So
Right.
so
we know you're out driving.
yeah. So no one person can charge this many batteries at one time.
Your neighbors
Yes,
must
they
love you.
can.
So,
The lights dim.
We know that you're out kind of driving to pick up your T-shirts, and we don't want to keep you because we know it's late. We're kind of appreciate you stopping by and at least taking the opportunity to talk to us a little bit about the Arizona Electric Festival. We're super excited to see you there.
Well, I'm glad to get with you guys because you're a huge part of AEF. You have been for many years, and I love seeing you guys hanging out and then just sharing, flying, and talking and having a good time. So I'm really excited. If I haven't made it clear, I'm really excited about AEF this year. Not that I'm not every year, but just kind of as much as we can say COVID's behind us, at least from our event perspective and what we had to do last year, I think we're gonna have a much better turnout because we've seen that with all of our events. We just had our auction. We doubled what we made at our auction from last year, like doubled. Part of it was one of the local hobby shops had basically an estate that he was clearing out for somebody, but he brought all the planes out. They were brand new in the box. I mean, there were some steals. Someone got a Freewing F-14 brand new in the box for like $300. I mean, less than half price. I mean, it was a steal. I mean, if I was like, I was selling my stuff to pay for my 8,000 milliamp batteries, or I would have bought that myself. But so we got the commissions from all those. So it was a win-win. He couldn't sell it all in his shop. He had a trailer and then some full, and it was really cool. Everyone's gotten these great deals. There's some beautiful airplanes at AEF just from this event alone. if they survive the Christmas holiday.
Very, very cool. Very nice. Well, we really appreciate you stopping in. We're going to let you get going so that you're back on the road and not driving late at night. But
all right. Well, you guys have a good Thanksgiving, and all your listeners have a good Thanksgiving. Happy holidays, whatever holiday you celebrate. Just make sure you celebrate it safely and have fun. And if you can, come on out for the 18th annual Arizona Electric Festival. It's going to be a hoot.
There you go.
Hoot and a half. Hoot and a holler. You got Mike and Jay and Silent Bob. Who knows? I don't know if he's coming, but
Well, we once again.
That would be cool if Kevin Smith showed up.
See, there you go.
I'd be fanboying out. He's a great guy. So,
hey,
all right, guys.
Thanks, Shannon.
Thanks a lot, and we'll see you in a few months.
See you later.
All righty.
Bye.
Later.
And we're back at the Park Flyer Podcast. It was good to have Shannon on. I'm looking forward to the AZ electric.
Yeah, it sure was.
Yeah, I think it'll be a fun time. He's super excited, and we're excited to be there. And I think the first week in February might work too. At less rainy, less windy. I don't know. Hopefully, all that stuff. Well, we have been searching and scouring the internet. We missed our last podcast in search of some Black Friday deals, and I think two of us were traveling and couldn't really make everything work. But luckily, Nick Turner out in North Carolina has been a champ and sent us a few things to look forward to Black Friday. But he and I were kind of chatting across the text.
Okay.
And I think he and I came to the conclusion that last year they waited till right at Black Friday. They didn't announce anything until right after Thanksgiving. So I don't think we're gonna. I think they'll do that again this year, just because from what I hear, and I will tell you that I've gotten a couple of emails, and I know that on our Facebook page people have mentioned that people are having problems getting product. And, it's just not coming across the water. Some of that stuff is still made in China. Some of it's still on the boat. I may have mentioned, Super Tim.
Right at the port.
Yeah, he's got some stuff on back order. I know that Barry has ordered some stuff, and it's, taken a little bit longer to get here as well. So having said all that, first thing I want to
I know that Lowe's have Black Friday stuff, Mike. I just saw a commercial the other day about Lowe's doing that. No, not that that's where you get your plain stuff. Although Jay and I have spent many hours, and I know you have too, Mike, going in through Lowe's trying to find. It's like, I wonder if this will work for what I need, and
that's true.
So and sometimes you need the tools that they have to sell too to do some of your crafts. So anyway, I just thought I would throw that out there.
No, and that's a good point because part of what I have, to drag around all my stuff is the Milwaukee Pack Out, and I know we were swinging by Home Depot sells that, and that's maybe this is the year not to get new airplanes, but maybe to get stuff for your workshop that's Lowe's or Home Depot or Sam's or Costco or something has something that's available that you can get to drag, batteries in or, maybe some new cases or something of that sort. But the supply chain issue has been a factor. I will tell you that many of the people have been hit by it and the prices are starting to go up. I will tell you in the jet world that Skymaster and two other turbine companies both or three of them, I think, total, announced that they were passing the shipping costs on to the customer, and now the shipping costs are almost as much as the aircraft. So it makes it very difficult,
Wow.
Yep.
So the shipping containers used to be, a couple $1,000s to ship a 40-foot container. Now they're up to $20,000 to $30,000, and when you're shipping large turbines or large, quantities. I know Motion RC's prices went up. Nick said that RA Cores, one of the guys that he's on our Facebook page and a listener, he does the foamies, right? And his prices have gone up and the shipping has gone up everywhere. So unfortunately, he said that he's hit with the supply chain issues and he's forced to raise prices, in time. That everybody's like, okay, well, you can order today, but you probably won't get it for, another 2 or 3 weeks. So that's kind of a bummer. But anyway, we'll reach out to him and, for Christmas, if you're looking for stuff, try to jump on there. He does mention that he's not going to increase it right away. So if you order, now he can get it to you at the other price. I think he said that it's going up. Price increase 1/1 of 2022. So he's going to hold off till the end of the year so it doesn't affect Christmas. So yeah, give RA Cores a look and see if you can get some, foam aircraft. I own 2 of them and they fly great. So I'm pretty excited about those. The other thing too is there's a big announcement. Horizon Hobbies basically about a week ago acquired Real Flight, the flight simulator, and I actually got advanced notice. I got advanced notice because I'm friends with with Jim. Jim Burke used to own Real Flight, and his company Knife Edge Software owned all the product, and they basically teamed up with Horizon Hobbies, and they got a whole bunch of new airplanes. As a matter of fact, this year they did a Reno pack, which is really cool. And so it had a lot of, like the Reno planes and that kind of thing in there. It was kind of nifty. But I think that they're going to go off, take this great product and go, develop their backgrounds of their airplanes, and then that way they can kind of concentrate on it. Jim, mentioned that he was time, and his company is going to go off in a little bit different direction. As you well know, he flies full-scale aerobatics, and I think he's been developing a product for full-scale guys, and I think that they're looking at some of that flight simulation software. So we wish him the best of luck. We know he's a listener too, so hopefully this is a good acquisition, and we'll see what Horizon Hobby has to do. Having said all that, I think another company, Precision Aerobatics, they have actually announced that they're doing a shipping surcharge. So we're talking about that too. That's another company that, they just can't do anything about it. And then I think, let's see, what did Nick sent me? He sent me something for rcbattery.com. There's a pre-sale for Black Friday up to 60% off. So there's one for you at RC Battery.
Oh, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah, and actually some of these are, they're a little smaller batteries. They really wouldn't fit in my, my big airplanes, my big EDFs, but some of these are, 650, 180 milliamps, so they're for the small foams, foamy type ones. I think the biggest one, looking at my notes, they've got a big one, I think, 3,300. So there you go, Mike. I think it's on sale for $19. So the 3,300 is about the same.
2,200 somewhere in there. Yeah,
2,200, something like that.
Yay me!
And then more lipos. I think limited sale for. This is just another rcbattery.com. You can buy one and get one free. So there you go. Those are some other ones that we've run into. So yeah, if you guys run into anything, that's kind of my list. I haven't really seen too much more than that. Everybody's kind of been, holding off. Jay, anything?
Yeah, the only thing that I've seen is not so much for sales. It's actually for looking out for scams. Mm-hmm. So the other day I was on Marketplace on Facebook, just looking at some other stuff. And I came across a site that said, hey, all these E-Flight / Horizon planes are on sale. Right. And so I just clicked on it for giggles, and they had some phenomenal prices on the planes. And I was like, whoa, they're getting rid of, they had, I can't remember the jet. It was a 90 millimeter. And I'm like, wow, that's like half price or, a third the price. Wow, that sounds too good to be true. So then I started looking through the rest of the site, and if it had been that one plane, I might have thought about ordering it. But as I looked through the whole list of planes, it was their entire inventory. It wasn't like they were getting rid of like a discontinued model. That sometimes they do that, where they slash the prices to get rid of all their stock. This was like every plane, everything that they have in their normal inventory was at incredible prices. So I was just like, they were like, yeah, we're celebrating, and I think their ad was something like, we're celebrating our new online store, our E-Flight online store. And I kind of was scratching my head and I go, didn't they always have an online store? Or what do you mean their new online store? So I looked at their address and, their email. What's the word I'm looking for? Their
URL.
I'm sorry? Thank you. The URL. That's the new technology and terminology, newfangled stuff. Anyway, I was looking at their URL, and it looked to be right, except for it was like E-Flight R, the letter R, and then the rest of the normal stuff that they had. And I went, huh. So I just I typed in the regular one without the R, and it took me to their regular page. So these guys have ripped off their normal page down to like everything for like, hey, how to contact us. Hey, here's who to call in case you have a problem. Here's our history. They stole the whole web page, just changed their URL by just one letter. And then I went and I typed that in on RC groups. Boink. Wouldn't you know, it comes up a little thread, and guys were like, hey, I just saw this plane for this much. It just came up this week. They've got a new site. And people are like, hey, that's a scam. Don't order from them. They've never sent me anything. So once again, in this time of, everybody wants to get something, prices going up. If you see something that just seems too good to be true,
probably is.
Just double check it. It may not be a real site.
Yeah. Actually, that's good. That's good that you brought that up. It's a good catch because there was a huge discussion on another, web board that I was on, talking about Pilot RC, and Pilot RC sells, gas airplanes, jet airplanes, turbines, that kind of thing, and they did the same thing with them. And there were several guys that ordered turbine jets, PayPal'd the money over, and now they're out.
Oh,
because, they're like, hey, I ordered this airplane from you. And they're like, we don't have an order from you. So, yeah, there was a whole bunch of guys that were not really happy because they're like, hey, it's your website. We went to your UAL. We were told to contact this lady, and we called her, and she said, yes, your product is being shipped today. And they're like, we don't have anybody by that name working for our company. So yeah, be careful out there. And, and it kind of stinks in the fact that, a lot of the stuff that we do nowadays, especially during the COVID time, was online. I don't know about you guys. In Dallas, I'm sure there's probably still a couple of hobby shops, but here in Phoenix, it's down to just a few. And, most of those guys are cleaning out. And as Shannon just said, there was another, he just had a guy that had somewhat of a hobby shop that just blew out his entire inventory because he was getting out. And it's difficult. You got to be very, very cautious about, what you're ordering online. Make sure that you're getting the right thing. Matter of fact, I was ordering something for the new Sparrow that I got at the Best in the West. We ordered some wing bags for them, real nice wing bags, and I was having a really tough time, getting everything lined up. My payment wasn't going through. There was some questions, and so I canceled all of that, contacted the company, and we wound up doing it a different way. Rather than going through what, every time I clicked on something, it took me somewhere else that was wasn't nefarious. It just was thinking that I was in a different location than I actually was. So I was trying to do it on my phone. It wasn't working too well. So please be careful out there for Black Friday. If it does, like Jay said, if it sounds too good to be true, probably is. That's a good point. So anyway. Mike, have you?
So you got anything for us, AK Mike?
There is a scam that was aimed at me and probably other people too, of DirecTV giving 50% off or whatever. And as far as I can tell, it isn't true either.
Really?
And what's funny is, they call on one number and then say, call us back on a completely different number. So I suspect that the number that they're calling from is actually a faked number, and the other number is the number that they're going to use to. And I didn't call, but I imagine they're going to say, what's your name, what's your social security number, whatever I might give them information wise, so they could, do whatever. But I unless I know whoever's calling me, I don't really answer the phone.
Right.
If they're not on my contact list, I don't answer it for the most part.
Nothing wrong with that. So.
Unless they leave a voicemail and it turns out to be Jay, and then it's like, oh, I know Jay, I'll call him back.
Or I don't want to call him back.
Maybe, because, I hear you on the other things. I call you, but you pick up and you're not breathing.
I left a doozy of a voicemail the other day for him.
He did. Well, we won't go into
won't.
that, but actually it was pretty fun.
Good.
But, the one thing that did happen is that Jay and I got to hang out a little bit last week, and my my oldest daughter was going to Austin, so I got a chance to go visit with her and hang out with her. So Jay and I hung out a little bit, and I got a chance to use his sandblaster and stuff. I was trying to figure out how I might use it to maybe sand some of the foam wings we have. We could maybe try to cut off pieces with it, but I didn't really have any good reasons or good ways to use it, other than clean the knife or a rusty wrench or something like that.
Yeah, sure. I heard you got to go flying out there though, paramotoring. We actually got video of you.
Oh yeah, so I think Jay used his phone and took video of me flying. And so now it's not like, Mike's been lying this whole time.
That's right.
He does know how to fly. And what was really kind of
I saw it by own eyes,
was really kind of
folks.
interesting.
He actually can fly.
Is that I was there. There must have been 20, 30 guys there. I don't know. It was a lot of people, and it was cooler. But when I got there, as soon as I got there, I was up in the air because you only have so much time. 2 hours. We usually go 2 hours before sunset. Mm-hmm. You only have so much time. So sitting on the ground, jaw jacking isn't the way where I want to be. I want to be up in the sky.
Right.
And so I took off early, and then there was a couple people taking off, and unfortunately my helmet camera wasn't working, but I had some pretty great videos of dudes flying right past me, and I was flying over them and by them to try to get video of them. So I was having a ton of fun filming,
sure.
but it didn't work out. I ended up getting corrupted or something somehow, and so it's kind of a bummer. But
yeah,
we had a good time. It was cold, but it's still fun.
Nothing wrong with that. So
what's that?
I said there's nothing wrong with that. It seems that I was talking about your corrupting. Our videos on this seem to be, sometimes getting interrupted as well. We had having technical difficulties, and part of it is because we're moving. I'm moving into a new place and traveling as well, trying to get it all taken care of. So hopefully this next year will be even better. But our Black Friday, hopefully closer to Black Friday, we'll get more. We'll try to post it on our website. And see what we can get, if we can, and then, or at least on the Facebook listeners page, which we are continually growing on our Facebook listeners page. I think there's been 4 or 5 more people this last week that have joined. So we're always welcome to new listeners. You're always welcome to post stuff.
Yeah, good to hear.
So it's good to hear. We're kind of reaching out, and I think give another shout out to Nick Turner. He's done a really good job kind of keeping us in the loop for Black Friday and stuff that's going on in the industry. And in today's time, that's one of those things we got to kind of keep an eye on. So everything changes, especially right now. So I did get to go out.
I'm looking forward to doing some night flying when we get down to AEF, Mike. And I'm going to hopefully bring all the parts of my night owl, so I don't have to make another tail. Although I think you still have that tail, don't you? The elevator piece that I made. I think you still have it.
I was thinking about you should just email the whole parts down to me so that when you forget them this time, I'll have them. That's better.
Do you want me to email it? Like I should take a picture and then digitize it and send it down to you, or how is that going to work?
Just email me the tail section. I don't need a picture.
You mean like ship it to you?
Yes.
Yeah, but
I mean mail. Not forget the E.
Yeah,
It's the old style mail.
You have to start. Okay.
Did I say?
All right. I'm gonna have to charge you more. Shipping's more expensive now.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
You did. Yes, you did.
I'm sorry.
That's why he was making. That's hence why he was saying what he was saying.
You should just ship it. Ship me the box. There you go. Sorry. Well, anyway.
Well, I will, but shipping's going to cost you a little bit more because it's getting more expensive these days.
This is true. Yep. So, well, I understand that. So everybody's complaining about shipping. So, but I still have your tail section. So it's in my trailer.
Good. That way, if I forget it one more time, I think it's twice now. I think I'm feeling like maybe I just should do it just because I just not bring it just because.
Yeah, just because. And then you'll be able to.
I think this is the second year in a row.
Yeah.
That you did. Okay. Well, then now it's a tradition.
Now it's tradition, right? If I bring it, I'm going to break tradition. I don't know if that's any good.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, I think we should keep with it, and then every year we should build you a new tail, but we'll make it the crazy tail. So we'll just build something funky for your tail that totally doesn't go with it.
Maybe I'll make a mount for my camera.
14 tail
on my owl, on my night owl too. Maybe I'll make a camera.
Oh, there you go. Fly
camera
around
mount.
in the dark.
And just toss that puppy in the air.
You could use the camera mount as a tail.
Look for the other lights in the sky. There you go.
That's funny.
You know what though? I have to say, I'm really, I want to harken back to that time because I was really bummed out. I left it that second time, and James was like, just make another one. And I was like, no, I don't think I can do it. And he's like, dude, you can make another one. Just make another one.
Yeah.
And he kept pushing me. Then I started working on it. It's like, all right, it's starting to come together. Okay, it seems like it might be possible. I was worried about it being too heavy in the back, and it ended up being exactly the same. Like I didn't have to change nothing.
Yep.
It was amazing how that worked out.
Well, I'm glad it worked out.
Yep.
So that's perfect.
It flew well too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it flew well too.
Mm-hmm. So, well, guys, our time.
Oh, hey, I just thought of another. Before you go, Mike, I just thought of one other thing for our listeners, and once again back to kind of like towards Eric, our 3D Aero Venture guy. G Tech has a bunch of filament on sale for really good prices on Amazon, and they have it listed with their with the codes to get like 40, almost 50% off of off of a real or 2.2 pound or 1 kilogram roll of filament. And there's maybe about 8 different types of, it's mostly PLA. I think they have one thing of PETG, but 8 different colors. Like I said, they range from, after with all the discounts and stuff, it's maybe $11 to $13 a roll. And once again, since it's Amazon, if you get two rolls, it comes out over $25. The shipping's free, or if you're already a Prime member, the shipping's already free. So it's a good price.
So, and the codes come from Eric's site?
No. G-Tech. If you click on one of the rolls that's on for sale, you'll see it. I'll tell you what, I'll probably just go ahead and put it on our site. Okay. And that way, everybody can see it and download it. Just go there.
All right, great. Cool.
All right. Well, our
is that some of the lightweight filament, or just the just regular?
Nope. That's made by a different manufacturer.
It's just PLA, right? Just the straight PLA.
Yeah, but there's just special PLA that was being sold too that has sort of a lighter, more air, I guess is the way Eric explained it.
Yeah,
it's lighter.
Yeah, it foams. Basically,
right,
the PLA foams up.
Yeah, that should work. Well, I think we're going to wrap it up for this week. We will hope everyone has a wonderful Thanksgiving, and spend it with your family, and see if you can find some more Black Friday deals. And if you can, post them on our Facebook listeners group, and then or post them to our website, or just email them to us at parkfirepodcast@gmail.com. Looking forward to the Arizona Electric Festival. I'd like to thank Shannon for stopping by. I know he was driving out to California and pulled off the side of the road to talk to us, so that was pretty exciting. And check out our YouTube channel.
That was cool.
Jay's been doing a good job trying to get all of our YouTube stuff up there, and we really appreciate it. Let us know how we're doing. But from Michael here in Arizona,
and Jay from the hills of Texas,
and AK Mike in Texas.
We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Let's fly.
You have been listening to the Park Flyer Podcast. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to your next visit. Please give our show a star rating and review, and feel free to email us your questions, topics, or suggestions to parkflyerpodcast@gmail.com.